You know, when we think of a map, we usually picture, like, lines on paper.
Right.
Borders, topography, maybe a little compass rose in the corner.
Yeah, standard visual tool.
Exactly. It's fundamentally a visual tool to navigate physical space. But, well, I was looking through the stack of research for today's deep dive, and it completely reframes that entire concept.
It really is.
Like, what if a map wasn't drawn? What if it was spoken?
Which changes the entire paradigm of navigation. You know, you're moving from a physical orientation to a physiological, psychological, and ultimately spiritual one.
Right.
A spoken map implies that the very act of vocalization is what actually moves you forward.
Which brings us directly into the heart of the Shiva Panchakshari Stotram, which is the text we are unpacking today.
Yes.
And looking at our sources, which span from ancient scriptural commentaries to modern philosophical journals on the Shaiva tradition, you start to realize this isn't just a devotional hymn.
No, not at all.
It is a literal map encoded into a deceptively simple 5-syllable phrase, na, ma, shi, va, ya.
So that's the code.
And the goal of this deep dive is to extract how this phrase maps the physical universe, human psychology, and the path to ultimate spiritual liberation.
It's an incredibly ambitious piece of spiritual technology. It's designed to be chanted, certainly, but more importantly, it's designed to be decoded. It's a compressed formula.
Right. And the architect of this formula presents our first major paradox. The author of this deeply vivid, intensely devotional hymn is Adi Shankaracharya.
Yeah, Shankar.
According to the historical text in our stack, this is a philosopher who lived for only 32 years.
32 years, which is wild.
It's crazy. Yet he somehow produced over 65 major works, including massive commentaries on the Upanishads and the Brahma Sutras. But here's the hook, right?
What?
Shankara is the undisputed master of Advaita Vedanta.
Right, the philosophy of strict non-dualism.
Right.
The core tenet of Advaita is that there is only one formless, attributeless reality. Brahman, exactly. The individual soul and this ultimate reality are fundamentally the exact same thing, totally devoid of any distinct physical characteristics.
And I have to push back on that immediately.
Okay, go for it.
If Shankara's entire life's work is championing Advaita, the idea that the universe and the self are one formless void of consciousness, why is he writing a highly descriptive, devotional poem praising a specific deity who has a physical form?
Wearing snakes and holding a trident.
Right. It feels like a massive contradiction to his own life's thesis.
On paper, it absolutely looks like a contradiction, but looking deeper into Shankara's framework, you see his brilliant grasp of human psychology.
Okay.
He championed a prerequisite concept called chitta shuddhi, which translates to the purification of the mind.
Purification of the mind.
Yeah. Shankara understood that you cannot just approach an ordinary human mind, one that is constantly distracted by daily anxieties, physical desires, and ego, and tell it you are the formless universe.
Right. The mind simply can't grasp it. It's like trying to run advanced rendering software on a corrupted, outdated hard drive.
Exactly.
So it just crashes.
That is a brilliant way to conceptualize it. It crashes. The mind needs an object to focus on before it can grasp objectlessness.
I see.
Shankara believed that devotion, bhakti, was the necessary defragmentation process for that hard drive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, worshipping a divine form, singing praises, and anchoring the wandering mind to the magnificent, tangible attributes of a deity like Shiva. This act of concentration cleanses the mental space.
It gives us something to hold on to.
Right. It trains the mind in single-pointed focus so that it eventually becomes capable of experiencing that ultimate formless self-realization. So the hymn is the vehicle. Advaita is the destination.
Okay, so let's unpack the vehicle itself, this Panchakshara or 5-letter mantra, because the sources highlight a really specific, almost legalistic rule about how this mantra is historically used.
Right, the initiation rules.
Yeah, because in popular culture, we usually hear it chanted as Om Namah Shivaya. Yeah. But the scriptural commentaries outline a very strict protocol here regarding that first syllable.
Right. The texts clarify that Om is a seed syllable, a Bisha mantra.
Okay.
Traditionally, to chant those powerful seed syllables, one requires formal initiation from a guru, a process known as upadesha.
Upadare.
Yeah. The tradition holds that without that formal transmission of energy and permission, one shouldn't chant the Om.
But the 5 syllables of Shankara's poem, na, ma, shi, va, ya, operate under completely different rules.
They do. Those 5 syllables are entirely universal.
Really?
The texts explicitly state that anyone, regardless of gender, social standing, or whether they've had formal guru initiation, can and should chant Namah Shivaya exactly as it is.
Okay.
It does not need the Om to activate its potency. It is a complete self-sustaining circuit.
It's an open source zip file.
Yeah.
You don't need a special, highly restricted license key from a guru to use it. It's a compressed packet of spiritual technology that absolutely anyone can download, extract, and run on their own hardware.
And Shankara's Stotram is the software manual for that zip file.
Right.
He takes each of those 5 syllables and dedicates one entire stanza to unpacking its specific contents.
Okay.
And the brilliant part is the organizational structure he uses. He maps the syllables directly onto the fundamental building blocks of the physical universe, the 5 elements.
Which takes us right to the bedrock.
Yeah.
The first syllable, na, corresponds to earth.
Right.
And the imagery Shankara uses in this first stanza is incredibly grounded. He describes Shiva wearing Vasuki, the king of serpents, as a garland. But the part that really stands out is the description of Shiva having 3 eyes, the sun, the moon, and fire.
Right, and those 3 eyes aren't just poetic metaphors for omniscience.
Okay.
The commentaries call the sun, moon, and fire Prataksha Devatas, meaning forces of nature that, unlike abstract concepts of divinity, we can actually see and interact with every single day.
They're tangible.
Very tangible.
The sun provides the heat and energy for crops to grow in the earth. The moon governs the moisture and essence of that vegetation. And the fire, well, the sources take fire in a very biological direction.
They do. They connect it to Jatarani, which is the digestive fire within the human stomach.
Right.
In Ayurvedic and yogic thought, digestion is a literal combustion process. So by invoking the sun, moon, and internal fire, the syllable na pulls the infinite, abstract divine directly down into the physical reality of the earth we walk on.
And the biological functions of the human body.
Exactly. It establishes a firm, unshakable foundation.
But a foundation cannot remain rigid forever, which naturally shifts the map from solid ground to fluid motion.
Yes.
The second syllable, ma, correlates to water. Here, Shankara invokes the Mandakini River, the Ganges, flowing over Shiva. But interestingly, this stanza heavily features Nandi,
The great bowl.
the great bull and Shiva's gatekeeper. And I was trying to figure out how a bull relates to the element of water.
It comes down to the concept of flow, specifically the flow of cosmic timing.
Yeah.
Nandi's name translates to being happy and in bliss. But his functional role in the mythology is fiercely guarding Shiva's space and dictating who gets access to the divine current.
The KKSFUSA notes in our stack tell this incredible story about Nandi's sheer authority.
Yes, the Surapadma story.
Right. The Devakas, the gods of the Hindu pantheon, were being absolutely terrorized by a demon named Surapadma.
Yeah.
They were desperate for Shiva to marry the goddess Parvati because a prophecy stated only their future son could defeat this demon.
The gods were in an absolute panic.
Understandably.
So Lord Vishnu himself, the supreme preserver of the universe, leads this frantic delegation to Mount Kailasa to beg Shiva to intervene. And Nandi stops them at the door.
Wait,
He physically blocks Vishnu and tells the gods to turn around and go back.
which seems insane. Like, why would the gatekeeper block the rescue mission for the universe?
Because Nandi understood the mechanics of cosmic timing. The
Yeah.
universe doesn't operate on panic.
Well,
Surapadma was destined to have a long life. His karmic time to be vanquished simply had not arrived yet. I see.
Nandi's presence in the Mustanza reminds the practitioner that access to the divine, the flow of that spiritual water, is governed by a deeper cosmic order. You cannot force the river to flow faster just because you are thirsty.
You have to align with its natural current.
Exactly.
That is a profound lesson in patience. But eventually, that water gives way to something much more volatile. The flow hits a spark with the third syllable, she, which is fire.
Yes.
The imagery here is aggressive. Shankara mentions Shiva's throat turning blue from drinking the hala hala poison to save the world.
Right.
And he specifically highlights the destruction of Daksha's sacrifice.
To understand the inclusion of Daksha here, we have to look at the mechanics of fire. Fire transforms by consuming.
Okay.
Daksha was a powerful king who arrogantly tried to conduct a massive cosmic ritual while intentionally excluding Shiva simply to prove a political point and feed his own ego.
So Shiva's forces obliterate the ritual.
They do, because fire is the great equalizer. It burns away arrogance and ego just as easily as it consumes physical wood.
It is the ultimate purifier, which is also why Shiva could consume the toxic poison that threatened the world.
But the stanza doesn't just focus on destructive fire. It beautifully captures the illuminating aspect of fire as well.
Yes, it does.
There's a line describing the goddess Gauri's face blooming like a group of lotuses, a vrinda, in Shiva's presence. Gauri often personifies the entire created universe.
Right.
So if the universe is a vast, dark field of closed lotuses, Shiva is the radiant sun. The moment his light, his fire, touches the universe, reality physically blooms into existence.
Without fire, without that initial spark of energy and light, the universe remains dormant. But for a fire to burn, for it to spread and create life, it requires another element to move it. It requires the breath.
Which introduces the fourth syllable, va, representing air. The stanza for va lists these legendary sages who worship Shiva, Vashishta, Gautama, and Agastya.
Agastya is key here.
Yeah, the inclusion of Agastya is fascinating because the text gives him the title Kumbhodbhava, meaning born in a pot.
Agastya perfectly encapsulates the esoteric power associated with the air element. In yogic science, air isn't just wind, it is prana.
The vital life force.
Right, the breath. Agastya is famous for accomplishing physical feats that seem impossible, feats that manipulate gravity and mass itself.
Like the story of him balancing the entire planet.
Yes.
The sources describe how during Shiva's wedding in the Himalayas, every being in the universe crowded into the northern hemisphere to watch.
Everyone.
And the sheer weight of everyone actually caused the Earth to physically tilt on its axis.
Yeah.
To prevent a cosmic catastrophe, Shiva asked Agastya to go down south to the Vindhya Mountains to balance the globe.
And this is where the mechanism of prana comes in.
How does one man counterbalance the weight of the entire universe?
Right, well, a sage who has mastered his breath, who has internalized mantras over lifetimes of meditation, accumulates immense spiritual mass.
Wow.
Through pneumatic control, mastery of the air inside his own body, his energetic density becomes heavier than physical matter.
That's incredible.
So the syllable va invokes that profound internal power where the mastery of breath literally anchors the physical world.
But even the breath needs a container to move through. Which brings us to the final syllable of the map, ya.
Yeah. Space.
Corresponding to